Hey, everybody.
I'm the writer.
I'm the musician.
Welcome, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
On today's show, let's put things together that don't belong together.
Oh, that's
Let's
delicious.
Talk about unconventional pairs, like that book. What's that book that you love with the pets, like the duck with the monkey and the horse with
Unlikely friendships.
the horse with the snake, and there's all these weird.
Oh, that book is so good. It's called Unlikely Friendships. It's all these random animals that get together and just adore each other.
It's funny to think that some animals that wouldn't get along in nature and might even be enemies can become friends. If we were applying that to art, maybe there's things that don't go together naturally at all. And even if you thought about it, were contrasting or unlikely to pair together. But that could be a direction for your art. Somehow taking contrasting things, putting them together. Maybe that even happens a lot of times in art, and we don't realize that's what we love so much about the art, is that they're waking up our brain by putting things together that don't naturally go together. Certain colors or mediums or
objects or textures.
Everything.
And it seems like such a playful state when you find that unexpected moment of putting two things together that don't normally go together. Like we watched a movie recently where hip hop and ballet was combined. And
Nice.
I thought it was so cool because at the end, like I've never seen those two combined together, but it was brilliant and so beautiful.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Like some fusion restaurants putting together Mexican food and sushi.
Yeah, like that sounds so gross at first.
It doesn't sound right. But then there's sushi burritos, which people are making a thing that is a sushi burrito, but it's not actually Mexican. It's just sushi, but in the shape of a burrito. And there's a place here in San Diego that's doing sushi that has a carne asada roll or a adobada roll, some sort of a Mexican flavor, but it's a sushi roll. And I don't know if they still bring you the wasabi and soy sauce and chopsticks. And
I'm really looking forward to going on a date there with you. I think it'll be so great.
It's a place here in San Diego called North Park Sushi.
The other night we watched one of the last episodes of the Wu-Tang, An American Saga, that is on, what platform is that on? Is it Hulu?
We watched it on Hulu. I'm not sure if that's where.
And it's so good. And the episode that we saw was when they were making music for the Forever album. And RZA all of a sudden brings in these people from the orchestra. And the Wu-Tang is there in the living room, just kind of looking around like, RZA, what's up? What do you expect us to do with this?
They were straight up defiant.
Yeah.
It didn't belong.
Yeah.
In their minds, but he was having dreams about. He was having a vision of something groundbreaking, going in new directions and trying to expand the world of hip hop.
And rise up.
They didn't see it.
Yeah.
They couldn't see it. They just wanted to do more of the same and keep going. That's what's making money. Do it.
And RZA had a whole different way of looking at it.
Which is almost playing it too safe.
Yeah.
And, with them being the street, you have to be able to adapt.
And how I was the first time I saw and realized that woo means witty and unexpected.
There's other, they've taken the acronym different directions.
Have they? What are some other ones?
I can't say. We usually take N garments.
Oh, right.
I just won't say.
Okay, yeah.
Respectfully. They're really playful, though. That's the witty part. And I think that even comes from ODB and Method Man more than any of the other Wu.
Yeah.
That playfulness.
In art, that we need that playfulness.
Because Method Man, here's his first rap on the first album. Mostly he's talking about cartoon characters. He brings up so many different cartoon characters in his rhymes in that. And that's not street. It's not street to be talking about Mickey Mouse or...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But he says, yippee, yippee, ya, yippee, yo. I ain't your average MC with your average flow. So he's saying that he's leveling up and he's on point. And actually then in Forever, he's the first one to sit down with RZA and say, oh, these are the new tracks. Great. I'll put down the lyrics. He was the first one. He says, I'm a soldier. I'm always ready.
Yes, that's right. And for everyone, go listen to it. It's
Triumph.
So great. With an orchestral mixed in with hip hop sound. Oh, it's so beautiful. Deep beats.
Just so I can put light to it if somebody hadn't heard the Method Man song. He talks about Sam I Am, Green Eggs and Ham. He talks about I Saw a Putty Tat. Talks about Fat Albert. He then, keeps it real with all the Shaolin and all the Wu slang, but he's got this chim chimney, chim chim chiree. And playful. I love it. I think that's what the unconventional, unlikely friends, the fusion in food, hip hop and ballet, I think all of it represents a playfulness versus how these things are so contrasting that they might combat or they might not agree. They might really clash and really rub wrong and make you feel uncomfortable if you thought about it too much. But with an imagination and your playful attitude and with this exploration that you have into new forms of art and music and fashion and everything, even fashion on Project Runway we watched, they would always be unconventional challenges and trying to put abstract into formal wear, put street into something else and trying to combine and fuse styles together. There can be a beauty to that.
And it seems really friendly in this way. Even just being able to see two things going together that don't normally go together. Like your mind, in a way, has to have some harmony.
I was thinking about that, harmony and connection. More connecting the dots and finding ways to increase the vibration. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, even just welcoming that. Welcoming two things that don't normally go together. Like sending this invitation for it to create a complementation and just see how they interact with each other.
Like we've talked about in the burner community, there's this radical expression where you'll see someone in a suit right next to somebody in a onesie, right next to a naked person, right next to somebody in the wildest costumes and all these fun contrasting elements all go together and get together into this big, big community of everyone accepting each other for what they're doing. Nobody has to be the same, but the similarity is in the confidence you bring your own funk and the way you accept other people's funk to give them the confidence to be themselves. And at that level, I think we really can meet and see each other more clearly by not making everybody the same, by not making everyone conform to your style, your flavor, what you bring to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100,000,000% that. Like so much.
In some weird math where it's acceptable to have over 100%. Definitely 1,000,000.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To being different. And just yourself and
cheers to crazy
whatever
math.
it is you want to do to express yourself.
It reminds me of Faith No More back in the day. And they got so popular so quickly, despite the fact that when most people were catching it the first time, it wasn't a continuity for them to hear such hard rock with hip hop sensibility or even experimental music. Mike Patton brought a very experimental, some of his melodies and the way that he put things together was so unconventional. And I think that sort of broke people to be like, wait, I'm so into metal, why am I now enjoying hip hop with my metal? And how Run DMC had did that with Aerosmith. Walk This Way.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a serious break anyway. That was a serious record that people would play those drum beats to rap over before the guitars ever came in. They'd let it go to the guitar. Beastie Boys and Run DMC, and they put the rock with the rap and just made people get down with it by their enthusiasm. I think you have to own it. I think that's one of these things about the unconventional combinations. You have to own it. If you limp in, if you're timid at all with it, people will strike you down and say that those don't go together. And you might agree, okay, sorry.
Wow, that is such a major part of it, isn't it? Owning it.
Owning it.
The belief in it.
Even the most contrasting things somehow complement each other. The light and the dark. You need light to make shadows, which are darkness. Darkness begs for the light. And it seems like maybe these contrasting things want each other somehow. They want some connection. And so you're doing a favor to life by taking two things that are so diametrically opposed, like so opposite.
That's beautiful.
And bringing it all together and finding a connection. Yeah. I think then you can maybe find some connections within yourself, parts of yourself that were incongruous, and you can make more sense of why can I be so blissfully happy and yet at the same time then break down to tears for something that's really sad, or be in the middle of a very sad moment and have this deep, deep sadness within you, but still laugh and make light.
All of that happened to me just yesterday.
Like one of those things that would be so, odd to be, say, at a funeral and have somebody making jokes and have people laughing when they're actually all really sad, but the laughter almost feels refreshing or good to complement.
Maybe that's a driving force behind why we even create art with contrasting elements, perhaps because it does help us to feel more human. And get in touch with that and embrace it, but also because it helps us feel more alive.
Yes. Like how they say that, say you had a skid out in your car and you almost, oh my God, and you're okay. I'm okay. I feel so alive at that moment where you might have been, I don't want to say close to death, but
Yeah.
Roller coasters. Why are they so exciting? Being at the edge of the cliff, and why does all this stuff make you feel so alive? It's like daredevils, skydiving, and it was amazing. Life-changing. I feel so alive after I jumped out of this plane.
What is it that we're touching inside of ourselves? Is it the quality of life, the unknown, or the
it could be the
impermanence, or
it could be the basic atoms, positive charge, negative charge. They somehow love each other. Negative spins around the positive and loves itself. There's a love relationship in the atom itself.
Oh, that's sweet.
That in the bigger picture, you have to somehow let your negative and positive dance.
That right there.
Dance in harmony.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So sometimes I just want to lick Eric's brain because he says these things that I love so much. So I'm licking his brain.
Because my brain is made of candy.
And the atoms that like to dance with each other. That's his brain. And that's my tongue licking it. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm even thinking about the contrast of the cream in my coffee.
Ooh.
The bitter, hot coffee with the smooth, cold cream.
Yes.
And somehow that contrast just lights me up.
Me too. Every morning.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I had actually heard that while people think Starbucks sells a lot of coffee, no, they sell a lot of milk. Through all the frappuccinos and lattes and cappuccino and everything that people are doing, they sell a lot of milk.
I heard that they have a cow in there. Just kidding.
To have a cow on staff.
Imagine.
Clocks in.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta pay it.
And produces hard.
Totally.
And then goes home exhausted. My teats are so sore from working at Starbucks all day.
Oh, I'm gonna massage my teeth. I think we massage them for me at the end of the day. I just have such a good imagination because imagine if there were cows.
Well, it'd be kind of like that Bob's Burger episode.
Oh, tell me
They
more.
thought it was so fun to have the cow until it started like going to the bathroom on their floor.
Oh, no.
And it's like gallons and gallons and gallons. Not fun, not fun at all. And that place would smell.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about the imagination, but it gets even funnier if you think about it. It could be like a guy in a cow suit.
Yeah.
Like two guys, the head and the tail.
Yeah, I can see it. What are some other contrasting elements in art?
You know, there's graphic design classes, and there's probably entire days, if not weeks, devoted to contrasting a hard line with a soft edge, a soft texture with a hard texture, a dark and light on the color wheel. I bet they spend too much time actually learning how to balance contrast.
Yeah.
And probably it doesn't come naturally. I know that that's one thing that frustrated me in music classes in school was there wasn't a great emphasis on contrast and doing your own thing. It was like, here's the classical way to do this. Play the music as written. I'm sure it's changed more and more, but there wasn't much experimental in going for your music degree. It wasn't emphasis on contrast or experiment or color outside the lines. It was pretty...
Yeah, being free and playful. Yeah.
It was pretty much...
It was just follow this structured routine, this way it is.
Until you got to jazz soloing, but that's solo on top of so much structure. Like almost like they put the jazz container around it so you could
Yeah.
make the jazz noises like inside that little box.
Oh, that sounds so fun. And just break rules.
Well, one of my favorite professors had a solo using only one note. And I thought that was the most brilliant lesson that day. And it was so hard for people. You know, you take these players like saxophone player or a guitar player, and they've studied their scales so much. They know all the scales and all the notes, and they just go whatever they're doing in their magic with all these notes. And wow, it sounds so amazing. But now, one note, just one note, and make it interesting. And when you're that limited and it all comes down to rhythm, it comes down to inflection, it comes down to dynamics, it comes down to so many things since you're now limited by not being able to play all the notes, that when you take all of what you learned in a one note solo and put it into multiple notes, those solos become even better with all the dynamics, rhythms, and everything you learn from a one note solo. So there's a lot to be learned in that improvisational space. It's not just about the notes you play, it's the feeling you put behind the notes that really makes it.
Do you ever feel like when you're making music that you're part of the contrasting element would be silence? Like
Yes.
You're
Always.
almost like you're playing and creating the music to speak to the silence.
Silence is almost my favorite note.
Oh, that's so cool.
In composition, I wonder sometimes how far I can go without playing a note. Like how long I can keep a bed of silence before a note has to happen to keep it interesting. I'd love, to explore a space of like the most minimal beat possible. And just the bare bones. Like this is necessary to make the groove happen, but nothing in there is unnecessary. And there's plenty of that open space. It gives you that tension. It gives you that feeling of what's going to happen. And the note happens. And then you get that resolution. You go, oh, well, there it is.
Oh, that makes me think of dancing. And I know that people dance to music, but by the way you describe that, it sounds like just making the music is a dance in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Or making art in any art is a dance, or even a connection, a relationship.
Yeah,
is a dance.
That's my favorite. If we're talking about contrasting, that's my favorite thing is the contrast between silence and sound. I think that is music, but silence is like the canvas that a composer creates their art onto. They create their art onto silence, or Frank Zappa had called it decorating time with music notes.
Ooh, I love that. Decorating time with musical notes.
So you get that contrast, silence and sound, and that, like our original podcast about everything and nothing, the nothing being that space that you put something onto to create focus. To focus on something, you put it in its own little field of just that one thing. It helps you define your art to have either a blank canvas or silence. Once you put something on there, that something becomes really important. You make an importance of something with the more silence or the more space, negative space that you put into your art. In our topic of contrast today, I think that's one of my favorites, actually. How long you can go before a note is necessary to keep the continuity of what you're doing. Continuity is so important. But if you didn't have to play a note, why did you play it? I don't like unnecessary embellishments.
Right. Yeah.
Why some people would say Ringo wasn't that great of a drummer, but I'm like, he was a great drummer for what he did. It was very minimal, but his beats were what was needed to really make that groove happen. And he didn't put in more than was necessary. But like just the right amount. Minimal. I like minimal. Not to say I don't like complexities, things like King Crimson, where, all the musicians are playing in 3 different time signatures, but then they all lock in on the one at the 21st beat, and it's this musical, mathematical masturbation.
Oh, wow. I want to hear that song.
You've heard it. Listen to Indiscipline by King Crimson.
Oh, yeah, you have played that for me.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, both minimal and complexity. I jive with both.
Contrast.
Yeah.
And they do both. King Crimson has some really minimal, beautiful songs that are really minimally done. There's some of their complexities, the real complex arrangements. I think we have somehow reached the end of our podcast. Just an abrupt. We'll just tear on the brakes and end it all.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our conversation.
We'll catch you on the next podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Love you.